Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello there, welcome to Chinese Pod. We bring you lessons in spoken Mandarin. We're coming from Shanghai, China. My name is Ken Carroll.
And I'm Jenny.
And today's lesson is an elementary lesson. And I should tell you that it's a challenging elementary lesson. We've got lots to cover today, so we're going to push on fairly quickly. Now, we have a character that I want to look at briefly today, Jenny. Could you tell us about this word and this character?
炒 炒
Now, that's the third tone. Let's hear it again, please.
炒
Qiao. Now, tell us something. First, before we tell you the meaning, tell us
The
something.
topic, shall we?
Well, we could, but what I'd like to do is look at the character first,
Okay.
right? Because this is a character, the written form. Now, the word qiao, if you're at a computer, you can see it. If not, later when you get home, you can have a look at it. Now, what are the elements here? What are the radicals here in the word qiao?
Well, on the left, it's the radical fire.
Fire.
火
Huo. And then beside
The
it is
body beside it is 少
xiao.
which means less.
Less.
Or
So I
only few.
Good. So we have the clues here is fire plus less. Like in Italian, you may have guessed that the xiao it gives an
少 sorry.
xiao indicates something about the sound.
Yes.
Similar sound. Xiao and chao. And so now I can tell you that the word qiao means
To fry.
to fry. Great.
So a lot of our North American parties probably recognize this.
Yes.
炒面. The
Yes, they
same
call-
as, 炒面.
They call it chow mein.
mein,
Chow
yes.
mein, yeah. And so maybe just in terms of that character again, one way to remember it's got fire plus less. And maybe you can think in terms, the way that I remember is just less fire. So controlled fire. You need to control the fire when you're cooking. When you're
That's very revealing.
I have no idea if that is the origin
Because you
of
don't
the
want to
character.
burn your food, right?
You don't want to burn your food, yeah. Now, whether or not that's the true etymology of the meaning, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. Those are the elements, and that's what will help you to remember, I think. Now, let's push on. There's a lot to cover here today, so let's listen to the dialogue.
喂，你好，
你好，我要炒饭，可以送吗？
可以，几份炒饭？
2份，
地址
延安路10号301。
15分钟送到。Second time. 喂，你好，
你好，我要炒饭，可以送吗？
可以，几份炒饭？
2份，
地址
延安路10号301。
15分钟送到。Third time. 喂，你好，
你好，我要炒饭，可以送吗？
可以，几份炒饭？
2份，
地址
延安路10号301。
15分钟送到。
All right, let's translate, please.
我要炒饭，可以送吗？
I'd like some fried rice. Can you deliver it?
我要炒饭，可以送吗？
I'd like some fried rice. Could you deliver it?
我要炒饭，可以送吗？可以，几份炒饭？
Sure. How many orders?
可以，几份炒饭？
Sure. How many orders?
可以，几份炒饭？2份，
2 orders.
2份。
2 orders.
地址，
The address?
地址，
The address?
地址。延安路10号301。
Yan'an Road, number 10, room 301.
延安路10号301。
Yan'an Road, number 10, room 301.
延安路10号301 15分钟送到
It'll be delivered in 15 minutes.
15分钟送到
It'll be delivered in 15 minutes.
15分钟送到
Okay, now you again, you will have pieced it together. The context is you're on the phone, you're asking the restaurant to send out, because that's the way it happens in China.
It's just so handy. You
It's
can
so
get
handy.
everything delivered.
Absolutely. So you're in the office or wherever it is you're working, you call the guys, could you send them over? So you say on the phone, we've cut out some of the pleasantries here in the sense that you might say please and thanks because we want to get to the literally the meat, no pun intended, of this dialogue. But so you're saying, 我要炒饭, I want some fried rice. 可以送吗? So that's basically the language. Now the word 送 meaning
To send, to deliver.
In this case, in context, it means to deliver. 可以送吗? Can you send it? Can you deliver it here? So that's the way you ask it on the phone. Now, 可以, of course you can. Now, here's a great question.
几份炒饭几份炒饭
Now, 炒饭, we had, fried rice. 炒 meaning
to fry,
right, and 饭 meaning rice. So now she's asking, she's saying, could you send some fried rice? 可以 means we could. So 几份炒饭. So
The numerical classifier.
it is in fact a classifier.
Classifier, sorry.
Now, so the word 份, fourth tone, meaning
Yes. Portion or serve.
good, portion. So if you say 几份, it means
How many portions?
how many portions. Now, you might hear that you're sitting at the table in the restaurant, you say, we'd like some of this, and the waitress will say 几份, mean how many portions, how many orders. So here we have it on the phone then. You say, I'd like some 炒饭, I'd like some fried rice, and the guy says again,
几份炒饭
and you want 2 portions.
两份
Great. 2份, 2 portions.
A lot of students of Chinese Pod tell us while they love to speak and listen to Mandarin, they are a bit intimidated to learn how to read and write in it because of the complexity of Chinese characters. That's why we created the 66 Characters series. Try it and see for yourself.
And she's being very direct on the phone, and she asks a question.
地址
地址. Now, the word 地 literally means
earth.
earth.
Yes.
Yes.
Ground.
Yes. 地址 meaning
Address.
your earth
place
address.
on earth. Yeah, your place on earth.
Great way to remember that one. And in this case, we have Yan'anlu. Yan'anlu is a very major street in Shanghai.
It
And
stretches about
Forever.
half of the city, I guess.
indeed, it does. And it's interesting because Yan'an is a very interesting place in
very
recent Chinese
significant,
history.
yes.
It was there that Mao Zedong and his people went, I think that was before the Long March. They were based there,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
And that was the camp, the base camp. So tons and tons of history to be learned about Yan'an.
And there's almost there's an Yanlu in almost every Chinese city.
Absolutely, yes. Such a historic role does it play, Yan'anlu. Now let's look at the address here. Could you give us that sentence, please, and we'll listen to it.
延安路10号301
Yan'anlu 10号301. Now, Yan'anlu 10号. Now, one thing's very interesting here is from an English perspective, this is kind of back to front,
Yes.
isn't it?
Reverse order.
Reverse order for the address.
Maybe that reflects the different ways of thinking we have.
Oh, that's a very interesting
Because you
point.
guys have more emphasis on the individual, whereas the Chinese, at least,
Starts.
we put more attention on the collective identity.
That's very interesting. So let's look at this address again and see how that holds true or holds up. Now, so you have Yan'anlu, meaning the name of the street. Then you have
10号
number 10,
301
which is the room number. So you have general to specific.
Yes.
Right. So it's Yan'anlu, number 10, room 301. Now, as you're correct, Jenny, in English, you're more likely to say room 301, number 10, Yan'an Road.
Yes.
And even if you did the full address,
Yeah.
if you said you'd have Shanghai, then China in English, but in Chinese, you'd start off with
China,
中国
yes.
上海延安路10号30 whatever. So it's an exact reverse. And I think you could be right, Jenny. I think it might point to a different way of thinking. Or maybe it doesn't. Who knows?
Maybe we're just reading too much into
Maybe.
it.
But it's a good way to remember.
Yeah.
Okay, and now the guy says, well, the food will be there in 15 minutes.
15分钟送到15分钟送到
Great. 15分钟 in 15 minutes. 送到. Now we've had the word 送 meaning to send or to deliver, and 到 again we've had it many times to arrive.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very interesting, I believe. I hope that was practical. Let's listen to it again 3 times.
喂，你好，
你好，我要炒饭，可以送吗？
可以，几份炒饭？
2份，
地址
延安路10号301。
15分钟送到。Second time. 喂，你好，
你好，我要炒饭，可以送吗？
可以，几份炒饭？
2份，
地址
延安路10号301。
15分钟送到。Third time. 喂，你好，
你好，我要炒饭，可以送吗？
可以，几份炒饭？
2份，
地址
延安路10号301。
15分钟送到。
Great. Now, there's so much in this that we briefly want to run to one or two things. The character Qiao, as we said, I think is very interesting. For me, the mnemonic there is the fire.
Controlled
plus
fire.
Controlled fire. Now, we had some measure words, and we've had a lot of requests over in the past about measure words. And so our measure word today is
份
and it's used to describe a portion.
Yeah, and it's the fourth tone.
Yeah. Now, I know that it has other applications in slightly more minor contexts. I don't want to go into those because measure words or classifiers, however you want to call them, can get confusing. This is really what you need to know at this stage. 份 meaning portion of food. And just to remember, you're given the address in Chinese, you do it the opposite way around. You start with the most general, so it's general to specific. We've covered a lot of stuff today.
Yes,
Yeah.
but all of those essential in a phone conversation when you're ordering
absolutely,
food.
or in many other contexts. Now, you need to go again to ChinesePod.com and drill down into this stuff and play with it, do the exercises and so on. And thus will you acquire it.
Yes.
But now we have to vamos.
Exit.
It's time for us to say
再见.
再见.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number
0236.
So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0236 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/0236.